Welcome to Reading, Raising, and Praising. I'm Jamie.
I'm Kate.
Today we're going to talk about The Exiles by Christina Baker Kline. So, jump in.
Yeah. At the end, she talks about the orphan train, how she did stuff. That sounds like really, I'd be really interested to read that.
Yeah, all of her other. There was a book highlighted at the library too on the thing that was her, and I was like, oh. So now, once you read an author, you get like, oh, what else can I read by them?
I know, because I liked it. I mean, overall, I liked it.
Yeah, so. The style of writing was easy to read, and she kept you wanting more. Like, the story never got boring, I felt like.
I know. And I was kind of nervous going into it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to feel. But it does pull you in right away with Evangeline's story.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess it starts with Mathina.
Mathina. Yeah, the characters. So it's set in like 1840s, like London, and then outside of Australia or near Australia Islands. So hard times.
Yeah.
It's hard to read about such harsh circumstances. We have no idea.
Conditions are so bad.
Yeah. No idea what it's like.
I don't really know much about the penal colonies, how they started all of that, but I found a documentary that's like on YouTube. It's like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that might be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Just to see more about because the documentary is all about convict, history of convict Australia.
Yes.
So
these women were like convicts, like in London, and then they were transported to, kind of fulfill their sentence, and they kind of worked for different settlers, different communities to work off their debt or whatever. Some of them would have to stay in the prison, some of them would have to go out and work in the community if they had skills or whatever. But
it's kind of interesting to see the parallel between this and like slavery in America, because they were both, all of those people were enslaved and they weren't paid, but they grew the country. I mean, because of all the work that they were made to do.
Right. Without them, it wouldn't have come as far as it was. That's true. Yeah.
And I think they mentioned that I only watched like the first minute of that documentary, but I think they mentioned something like that.
That would be interesting.
So
it was like, and also the different classes were highlighted, like the rich people, and how if you weren't rich and you got caught stealing something, you were in prison. Like there was just no justice, especially for women. Obviously, because women were the lowest or whatever, but it just felt like there was no justice like there is now for people.
Well, the one character, like you were saying the other day, she stole a silver spoon.
Yeah.
And
then was sent away.
Yeah. It's like wow.
Yeah.
Of course, the author did a lot of research on like feminism and that sort of thing. So she was coming at it from that sort of perspective of how women weren't treated. Yeah. But men were convicts sent there too.
Yeah. True. This was just highlighted the women, but it was definitely, and it's, a little bit about like women helping other women and kind of trying to survive, and, these friendships that they build, and just about surviving, I feel like part of it too.
Overarching for me, you see the title, Exiles. Everyone is exiled in this. It's either like Mathina's exiled because she's an aboriginal, and she's taken out of her comfort zone,
her native zone, right?
And they forced her to become
part of the
European.
Culture and European, part of the culture, and put dresses on her,
and she's like, this is
very uncomfortable,
And then Evangeline, she's transported, so she's exiled to Australia from her home in England, and Olive, the same thing for Olive and
Hazel.
But then there's also like the bird. I was thinking about the bird being exiled, like taken out of its home or something and caged, and she reflects on that.
Yes. The people they meet along the way, there's a doctor that's on the ship that they befriend, that wants to help more than he wants to,
And he's exiled as well because his father's practice was like, something happened and
someone died, I think, and then everybody just was like, oh, you're not a good doctor anymore, so it just ended.
So he had to go and do something else on his own,
right,
because he couldn't stay where he was. So
right. Tricky.
But all of that, we just read Handmaid's Tale recently, and so I was kind of connecting the two about how just women were just not treated well.
Yeah.
And they, what's her name? The handmaid.
Offred.
June or
John, yeah,
Offred or whatever. She's like exiled into like this different place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
She was trapped and didn't have a way. And Hazel says, I just felt like trapped. I wanted to help Ruby.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I couldn't do it because I was just trapped.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Well, one of the first quotes that hit me was Evangeline. She's remembering her father. Like, she had gone to London to be a, what do you call it? Take care of children and teach them. Yeah, governess. Yeah. And she's remembering, so she was away from her father. Her mother had died or whatever. And her father was like a pastor or like a minister. Yeah. She said, talks about the rings on the tree. Yes. And I thought about this in other ways too, but he said, maybe humans are like that, she thought. Maybe the moments that meant something to you and the people you've loved over the years are the rings. So I just thought that was good. Like, if you look at trees, you can see their age based on how many rings they have.
And some rings are bigger, like a better year, or some rings are not as big.
So you could look at it as like life. Yeah.
That was the first quote I had too, but that comes back.
Yes, it does. In a different way. Yeah. With Mathena talking about, just imagine you're the thread, like on a necklace, and the people you love are the shells. They'll always be with you.
That theme comes back several times. Because then the necklace comes back at the end, and it kind of, that helps.
Yeah. The women, the way the bond that these women, even if they didn't really all know each other that well, they've formed this kind of bond. Each of them have impacted each other in a certain way. For sure. And
some good and some bad. I mean, Evangeline's mom was not Evangeline's mom. Hazel's mom was not helpful, but her doing that kind of forced her to learn things and know that things.
So, that were valuable and helpful to other people, and then she could become a mother to a child, a motherless child.
Part of her story. So
yeah, it was good.
I liked how it started with these separate stories, and I've read books like this before where they're just different peoples in different times, but then at the end they merge together, and you can see how just different lives intersect. So.
Yeah. Crazy. We think always say that like, oh, it's such a small world when people's lives intersect, but it's just, that's for a reason usually.
7 degrees of separation. Or whatever that is.
Kind of wild. Do you have any other questions?
I just thinking of just how hard it was for everyone, like the food they ate and how everything was moldy or gone just bad, nasty. And it's like, why would they do that? Like just like they specifically let stuff mold just to give them moldy food. And it just, wouldn't you want it to not be disease ridden?
I know. Especially if you're going to use these people. I mean, you want these people to like be workers and be helpful to you. So why not? Yeah. It was just disgusting. I can imagine living like that. And when they were in the London prison, the Newgate prison, I mean, it was just disgusting. They didn't even hardly see the light of day. Like, it was just...
I'm just surprised people survived it. But I think about that, like, with the Holocaust, how awful they were treated. It just, like... And they survived. It's just amazing that...
And here we are, like, I'm starving, I haven't eaten 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, we have no idea. Exactly. Huge perspective.
There's a lot of stuff about... like the midwifery and the tinctures and the I just loved reading about what things they used for different ailments. That was so cool.
That we could probably just go back to because that stuff is just the natural things that how far medicine has come to, I guess, which is, medicine is good, but sometimes going back to the roots
literally
is just as helpful. Exactly. Yeah, that was very interesting. Just the details. It was very detailed. In certain parts of it, especially the prison, that Newgate prison, I felt like there was a lot of details, but it was good. It wasn't like overly done. It just kind of, I don't know, just a good writer.
Yeah. I've read another series where she talks about having to go to Newgate. She wasn't there long, but and she never described what it was really like. She was like, I just can't go there because it was so awful. And now I kind of got more of a picture of what it was like.
Yeah. So based on real stuff. But still a work of fiction, but based on real historical events.
Section, each part, I don't know what you call that, each division of the different characters had a little quote that was from a real journal or book of someone that lived during that time.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was helpful too to like have, she would say like Hobart Town 1840 or Newgate Prison or something, so you could.
And those are all real. Actually, where they really happened.
Exactly.
I didn't love that Evangeline was like kind of naive is maybe the best word.
Yeah.
She just kind of stupid. I don't like, she just
hadn't been in the world.
Yeah.
Like she had been with her father, and then she went to do this governess job. She hadn't been outside
Right.
of her own town or anything like that. So
she was
naive.
young
Yeah.
and just not know things. But
Yeah.
what I liked about it is that even though her story doesn't have like this great happy ending, it's real.
Yeah.
And that's how real life is.
Yeah.
And so people are naive and they don't make the right choice. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm always connecting it to other things I'm reading, but we're rereading Hunger Games and stuff, and I just think about how Katniss is like, she just knows what to do, and she's like, oh, I will just like strap myself to this tree, and you're like,
yeah.
Not everybody just knows what to do all the time.
Right.
So that was refreshing to read something that was like not going to be a happy ending.
Right.
For me anyway.
Right. Real life person that, you could relate. I mean, I could relate to that, being naive and not knowing what to do.
I know. Well, and she admits that she was impulsive, and she was like, I have no one to blame for this misfortune but myself. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice that she has that realization too.
Yeah. She grew up a lot, I feel like, in the time that she,
it was like snapped her out of it.
Yeah. Kind of when you're forced to grow up, it's like you just figure it out. Yeah. For sure.
They also talk about the resurrection. I don't know if this is when bodies have gone overboard, but this resurrected, and they quote scripture about being resurrected out of the sea. And interesting, because I was reading another book about the resurrection of Christ, and like when we will be resurrected also, and just interesting how those things interweave together.
Interesting.
In that same vein, the prisoners get preached at like every day.
Yes.
Just like hellfire and brimstone, and you're basically like, you're horrible people.
Yes.
And like, get yourselves together.
Yeah.
And I just think about how that was preached, and then how now it's almost like grace, so much grace that you don't even hear about.
Yes. I mean, you still need to hear about
sinfulness and the need for repentance. And so I was thinking just how we've had this whole shift, and I don't feel like we need to go to that place where you're a horrible person, all the condemnation all the time, but
a balance in between. Yeah, like there you are sinful, so this is why and you lucky you get grace. Like you could not have mercy and grace. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. We've gone fluffy. That's a really good point.
I didn't have a ton else. I was just looking back at my notes, but when she had to pick the oakum, pick the ropes apart, I was trying to figure out what that really
does that
meant.
really
but
mean?
When I looked at it, basically what I could find, it sounds like they would take old ropes from the ships that were like covered in tar and salt and stuff, and then they'd have to unravel the ropes so that they were into smaller strands, and then they would use those smaller strands to like seal up between the planks in like new ships or something. Maybe
so
I
it's
don't
all
know.
reusing.
I think
but
so.
What a tedious thing. But I mean,
I guess it was something that needed to be done, and they could just have these people do it.
Yes,
it was
free labor,
monotonous.
Yeah. And drive you crazy doing it all day long, every day.
But she talks about how she just focused on this task has to be done, and just tried
Flip this
to like,
over, do this, like the steps.
A puzzle.
Yeah,
it was a puzzle.
The steps. Yeah.
So.
Like that's what I mean. Like just survival to get through. You're just focusing on just getting to the next day.
I also when she's in that solitary Hazel, and she kind of has this. She always has this realization of like, I just need to put my head down and do what I need to do, and not talk back because I want to get out of here.
Yes.
And I feel like she had this nice balance between, I don't know, is that meekness? I don't know what the right word is.
Yeah.
Between that, like, just turn the other cheek almost. Like they're being terrible to me. I did nothing wrong, and I'm just gonna keep on going.
Right.
But she also had like this fire, like. I'm gonna take care of Ruby, and like,
a determination. But it was balanced with meekness. It was like because if you don't fight back, if you just do what you need to do to get through it, because the arguing gets you into bad places.
Right. as you can see with Olive, because she
Yeah.
like is continually in the crime yard or
Yeah.
whatever, like in the other part, and
just couldn't, her mouth. I mean, if you just let yourself be impulsive and reactive, don't react to everything.
reactive.
It's not worth it in the end. But it's hard not to, I'm sure, because you're like, mad, I'm here, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this, I'm frustrated. Yeah. It's really hard.
And she was only what, 16?
Hazel?
When she got on the ship?
Yeah.
Because later she says something about being 19. So.
Yeah, so she was not very old at all.
And then Dr. Dunn, he was like 26 at the beginning.
Yeah, so he was,
So at the end, she's 19 and he's like 30?
Maybe.
29.
It was like 1840 to 1843-ish
Yeah.
or something, so it wasn't too awful many years, but yeah.
But they were like spread apart in age, so I kept wondering how that was going to go down.
Yeah, it was interesting. But it turned out okay.
How did you feel about Ruby meeting
her dad?
Yeah.
It was interesting. I was like, kind of like, wow, he turned out not like he didn't marry or didn't anything. And it seemed like he was that kind of bachelor that was like, you know, could have whatever he wanted. But it was sad. I felt sad for him because he didn't have anything, and kind of sad for her. But I mean, at least it was kind of like closure, I guess, since she didn't have anybody else.
It didn't seem to bother her that he was like that.
Yeah, she got raised by two great people and didn't need him, but just for him to know. And I liked how she was like, you know, you didn't come to my mother's rescue. You didn't even say anything. Like, why didn't you even say anything?
Well,
I'm glad he knew in the end. Like, it was like, well, you know, you could have, you know, okay, I don't know if he could have changed anything, but at least he knew.
And maybe that's why he didn't, because it's what could he have done?
True.
Overruled his stepmother.
That's
but he
true.
was a man, so you think like maybe he could have.
I know. But apparently he didn't care enough about her, which shows that too. And he didn't know she was, I mean, he kind of assumed, he thought maybe she was with child, but he didn't know for sure. But then I would have thought, oh, well, then maybe I need, but whatever.
I kept thinking, oh, if he's a bachelor, maybe he just really did love her, and like he tried and he could never
years.
find it.
Right.
I don't know, this romantic in me.
Yeah.
Like maybe,
Yeah.
but he wasn't. I mean, he was kind of in between. It was like he wanted to have a connection to her a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he was also like, he just seemed kind of
kind of blah. Yeah.
No
Wasn't what I
spark,
expected.
no drive to like.
Yeah.
Fire.
I think his life just was meaningless at that point too. So maybe that was part of the reason too. He missed out. Yep.
I think that's all I got. Oh, there was a lullaby at the beginning about babies. Somebody walking away from their baby, and then the fairies took it away or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I looked it up, and I found a YouTube video of someone singing. These two Scottish ladies singing it.
Oh.
So I'll have to play it for you.
Yeah.
But it's a folk song, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
That time period. The last thing I had was just the very last part of the book when Hazel's sitting on the bench with Ruby. This is when Ruby was still little, and Mathena was there because she had just kind of been wandering, you know, and she was making her way down the street, and Hazel felt a strange, unquenchable sadness. They were both of them exiles, torn from their homes and families. It's kind of a good way to end it, like, you know, just she was kind of seeing the full picture after everything.
It's kind of sad though, because Mathena, you
don't
don't get
what
closure
happens.
with her story. It's like she just kind of.
It's kind of like a wanderer, doing her thing. Sad for her to be taken from her people, But Exiles.
So I was going to give it like 4 stars.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Which is, I love it on the Goodreads scale, because
that 5 stars really needs to be just reserved for your like, I couldn't like
stay with me forever.
Yeah, and Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
And there's only so many books like that, which is for a reason. I mean, you know, I feel like a lot of the books I read are all good.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't really read stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've only ever given a 1 to 1984.
Right. and it's like one of those classics. I think it's just
classic.
because we just didn't like the style and
So I've kind of lowered my bar a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I like this. You know, I liked it, but it wasn't like some amazing thing. But this one, it was like a bit more than I just liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was in the love it category.
Yes,
So
I agree. Good story.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you read it, let us know what you thought.
Yep.
And
keep on reading, raising, and praising.
Bye.
See ya.